It's a 33. Yeah.
All right.
34.
It is a fair batted ball when the ball contacts fair ground in front of third base and then crosses the foul line behind third base.
It is a fair batted ball when the ball contact. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is a ball in flight. This is not a bounding ball. This is a ball in flight. It is fair batted ball.
This is a bouncer.
When the ball contacts fair ground.
In front of third base. It still has to be B because it can't be A.
Okay.
And it could go over the bag, but it's not opposite. It's got to be B. Because it can't cross any foul in front of the bag.
All right.
So B is still right.
All right.
Yeah. There's more to it.
That's a poorly written question.
It is a balk when
Ooh.
the pitcher throws to an unoccupied third base when the runner from second is attempting to steal it. The pitcher feints a pickoff throw to an occupied third base. The pitcher in the delivery with the runner on base drops the ball that crosses a foul line. Can he feint that throw to third base? All right, none of the above.
Yeah, I have none of the above. Everyone good with that?
To an occupied.
NFHS, they could fake the throw to third. Fake to third, throw to first. Yep. All right, Tom.
B2 is adjusting his stance in the batter's box when the plate umpire gives the do not play signal. The pitcher wheels and legally picks off R1 at first base. I'd say B, there is no plays. The ball becomes dead when the umpire gives the do not pitch signal.
That's what I have as well. So this is what they're talking about. This is a do not pitch signal. This signal is also time. All right, so everything I go off the catcher. So if that batter is allowed in Federation 20 seconds. Okay, so if that batter is getting ready, I tell that catcher, don't give your signal. Don't give the signal to the pitcher yet. Because then if the batter is getting ready and that pitcher starts to deliver, I'm calling time. If that batter is getting ready, as long as I'm not doing this, that pitcher can pick off. All right, so I'm using my catcher to make sure that pitcher doesn't legally deliver a pitch.
Batter doing that does not mean time.
No, batter does not doing this does not mean time. And I'm going to tell the batter, I'm going to give you time to get ready. Catcher, let him get ready. All right, so they have that 20-second pitch clock for both offense and defense in high school. 37.
2 bases are awarded to runners when a throw becomes lodged in an umpire's uniform, a fair ball hits a foul pole in flight, a pitcher commits a balk, a pitcher attempts to throw from his pitching position on the pitcher's plate. I would B.
All right, so a fair ball hits a foul pole in flight is a 4-base award. That's a home run. So a pitcher commits a balk. How many bases we given? 1. Pitcher attempts to throw from his pitching position on the pitcher's plate. So a pitcher doesn't step off, just throws it into the dugout. How many bases? 1. A throw that goes into our uniform, not a pitch, but a throw that goes into our uniform is now out of play. A throw that goes out of play is how many base award? 2. Umpires, avoid that ball getting lodged in your uniform. Chest to baseball, see it coming.
Pitching from the windup position, the pitcher pauses for a couple of seconds with both hands together above his head.
Okay.
So we might need to go through that.
Okay.
C, this is illegal. After he starts his movement to pitch, he must continue the motion without interruption or altercation.
C. Okay, pitching from the windup position. Sweet. Awesome.
A defensive conference held at the pitcher's mound is concluded when the coach crosses the foul line.
It is not when the coach crosses the foul line. It's when the coach leaves the dirt area. So as an umpire, all right, what I always do, if the coach is in the third base dugout, I'm coming up the first base side. If they remain at the dirt circle, I now come from behind the dirt circle. All right, got to make a decision, coach. They make a decision, leave them in or go to the bullpen. They leave them in. Once they leave the dirt circle, I now am walking back, so I'm between the coach and the pitcher. Because now if the coach stops and turns around and talks, what does it look like who he's talking to? Me as the umpire. I'm in between them. All right. And then if he is really trying to say something to the pitcher, I'm like, Coach, you could only talk to me. You can't talk to the pitcher. Okay. So it's when they leave that dirt circle, they can't talk to the fielders again. I'm not going to be a huge stickler on that. But if the other coach notices it, we got to do something about it. But that's why you want to prevent it. Okay. It's that dirt circle. Number 40.
Foul fly is caught by the first baseman using an illegal glove. As the first baseman slips after the catch, the runner from third legally tags and scores. Upon discovery of the glove, the umpire will let's go with restrict that coach.
I think it's B.
Nullify the catch.
I think it's B as well.
Okay, nullify the catch and treat it as a foul ball unless the team on offense chooses to have the result of the play.
It's the same as if it's a non-foul ball too. If they catch the it's the same thing. It goes to a foul ball before they can have the result of the play, which obviously they wouldn't.
Yep, so a foul fly caught with an illegal glove mitt shall be nullified and treated as a foul ball, unless the team at the bat elects to take the result of the play. And a foul fly is caught by the first baseman. There must have been a lot of illegal gloves here last year.
Right?
All right, 41, Matt.
The home team decides to temporarily extend both dugouts. They may do so. You'll have to scroll up toward the outfield line. Toward the outfield on a line parallel to the foul line.
So it can't be a circle extended dugout. Straight line away from home plate.
And not toward like WS old.
Yep. 42, Ben.
Prior to the start of the game, the umpire in chief received verification from each head coach that his participants. C. Are properly equipped and are using only legal equipment. So on and so forth.
Sure.
It's kind of A too,
Yeah.
I would think, but I think C is the only requirement.
Yeah, properly equipped. I will say helmets that are free of cracks. You don't have to inspect every single helmet. But if you see a helmet clearly cracked, remove the helmet from the game. Most of the time, believe it or not, most of the time when there's tape on helmets, you want to know why there's tape on helmets? It's because of the pads are loose underneath. But a cracked helmet, if you see a cracked helmet, remove the cracked helmets from the game. 43.
With R3 on third and 2 outs, B5 is at bat instead of B4. R3 steals home on a pitch that is neither strike 3 nor ball 4. B5 did nothing to influence the play. Before the next pitch, the defense discovers B4 should be at bat and appeals the play. Yeah, it's B4 replaces B5 and assumes the count and the run count. So B
Yep.
and C.
Because that batter who's improper did not move the runner. If the improper batter moved the runner, then you would move the runner back. But this runner did it on his own volition. They appealed it. Just get the proper batter back. Number 44. Brian?
Offensive malicious contact is defined as being interference. B.
All right. And interference will always supersede obstruction. So if that catcher is obstructing home plate, but that runner lowers the shoulder and just blows them up, you are calling interference. Interference supersedes obstruction. 45. Jamie?
If the home team has a charged conference, the visiting team is it A? I don't know.
Anyone have C? All right, so both teams, if they conference with their players, you're going to charge both teams. Write that one down too, Vince. Yep. When a coach and player leave their position and talk, or players leave their position and talk and we call time, that's going to be a conference.
So if the defensive team has a non-visit, you can't have runners beating foul territory, but still an offensive charge.
Unless they substitute.
And that's the high school rule as well? Okay. All right, 46. The pitcher has the right to throw or feint to a base the same as that any other infielder when he steps off the pitcher's plate in any direction. No. I'm going both of his feet are on the ground behind the pitcher's plate. His pivot foot is on the ground clearly behind the pitcher's plate. I'm going C. So he has stepped off and became the fielder. Okay.
A tinted lens to protect the catcher's eyes may be. I don't know. The note from the parent.
It can't be an additional, it has to be part of the original manufacturer's mask. Wait, I didn't think it could be tinted.
Eye shields shall not be attached to the catcher's mask after manufacture. Are we talking about eye shields or tits?
Tinted lens. So that could be sunglasses. So 1 and 2.
Tinted eyewear worn on the face and under the face mask is permitted.
So 1 and 2. So C.
Okay, so
Right.
But you can't have.
But you can't have them attached to the catcher's mask because then it would mess with
It's got to be part of the original manufacturer. It can't be tinted if it's part of the mask.
so tinted lens to protect the catcher's eyes may be on the eye shield attached to the catcher's mask. That's false.
I believe so. I think it says it can't be tinted and it has to be part of the original mask.
Eye shields shall not be attached to the catcher's mask after manufacture. So only B. So it is B, worn on the face and under the mask. All right.
All right.
48. Hunter?
a player who was removed from the game for exhibiting signs or symptoms consistent with a concussion. May return if cleared by appropriate health professional.
Perfect. As an umpire, if you seriously think it's a serious injury, I would get that medical professional umpire's name and put it on your lineup card and have it just in case. 49.
A batted ball is fair when? It would be D, all of the above.
Once it hits the base, it's fair. The foul pole is fair pole, and it bounced from fair ground directly over third base and lands in foul territory. And last but not least, number 50.
B3 on a hit and run attempts to hit an outside pitch. B3 hits the ball while the lead foot is partially touching home plate and partially touching the inside line of the batter's box. What is the ruling? Yeah.
Yep. So in high school, it's B, immediately dead, D, the batter's out. They cannot be touching home plate in high school when they contact home plate. So we did have college, as long as college and OBR, as long as they're touching the chalk, they are in the batter's box, it's legal. High school, they cannot be touching the plate.
So you say you can be touching the plate?
Yep. As long as you're touching the batter's box.
The chalk line.
Yep.
But after a few innings, that chalk line is gone.
Use your best judgment. I wouldn't pick a book.
Is supposed to be 6 inches.
6 inches.
So how big is that person's foot? So just kind of judge from that.
You said 25.
You need to go back. Yeah, if you want to go through them quickly.
All right. We did have some interruption on the live, so we're going to go back to 25. I'm just going to read them out. An improper batter is discovered at bat with a count of a 1-2 count. The proper batter will replace the improper batter with the 1-2 count. And yes, offense and defense can appeal that. The following bat component shall be round, symmetric, and smooth. That's the barrel, so it cannot be flat. The handle and taper could be whatever they want, so the bat stays together and the hand could control the bat. The role of the DH is terminated for the remainder of the game if the DH is replaced offensively when he is, and neither scenario will terminate the role of the DH. The DH just cannot re-enter. Whoever that sub is now the DH. A putout is credited when a fielder, all the above for the scorekeepers here. With the bases loaded, B4 draws a walk. Both R3 and B4, as they approach home plate and first base, respectively, remove their batting helmets. They're excited. Issue a warning to the coach of the team involved. Next time in the game, it would be ejections. The pitching regulations begin when the pitcher intentionally contacts the pitcher's plate. They have to be a pitcher for us to call a pitching infraction.
Are you negating the runs on those ejections for the removal of limits?
Yep. A batted ball bounds into foul territory and contacts the bat, which accidentally flew out of the batter's hands. The ball then rolls into foul territory in front of third base and is fielded by B5, who throws out the batter at first base. The bat is part of the field. The bat is in foul territory. The ball is touched in foul territory, foul ball. Ball becomes dead when time is taken to all of the above. We call obstruction, which could be delayed, but when we award bases, we're going to do that dead ball. When a coach wants to intentionally walk, a catcher wants to intentionally walk, time, and then if the ball goes out of play, time and award bases. We're going to go 33, all the above, because everything met NOXI standards. And then it is a fair batted ball when the ball contacts fair ground in front of third base and crosses the foul line behind third base. Okay, so it's a bounding ball that goes over third base. And then that's when it went over the fair foul line, but it went over third base. So we have a bounding ball over fair territory. All right, we have 7 minutes left. Follow through interference. Anyone off the top of their head where we could find follow through interference? Because that was a NFHS difference.
I thought it was just the wording that was different. Was that question 9? I thought it wasn't maximum interference. That's a different thing. So I thought follow through interference.
221-4. .221. A backswing interference is when a batter contacts a catcher or the catcher's equipment prior to the time of pitch. Follow-through interference is when the batter hits the catcher after the batter has swung at the pitch and hinders action at home plate or the catcher's attempt to play on a runner. That tells us nothing. So it penalizes. Jump to question 9. All right, so interference. I'm looking up interference. Follow through. 512A.
When there are 2 outs, the batter's out. When there are not 2 outs, and you attempt to put a runner out at any base is unsuccessful. Batter is out, and all runners must return to bases are correct. That is follow through.
So follow through interference. Do you have the rule reference there?
735.
All right, 735C. Follow through. So swing, miss, hit the catcher. Since it was less than 2 outs, the batter's declared out. You return R2 back to second base. Yep. Correct. What was it?
That way for
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Correct.
Follow through.
What was the next question?
15. 19? 15. Okay.
15.
All right, so 15, pitcher, the windup position may. I think this was a federation difference.
What exactly is considered the windup position?
The windup position when their pivot foot is not parallel to the pitcher's plate. Which rule is pitching? There is no hybrid in high school. No such thing as hybrid in high school. Rule 6, pitching. And that is all right, so read that again.
They can either deliver
Deliver a pitch,
step and throw to a base for a pickoff,
legally attempt a pickoff at an occupy, or legally step back off the pitcher's plate.
Wait, in the windup position, they can legally attempt to pick off at an occupied base.
At an occupied base.
It has to be A and B.
Why would they?
Because you can definitely deliver a pitch. Obviously, you can legally step back and off the plate. So it has to be A, B, and C is correct. So it has to be A and B.
Sean, is that timer gonna run out?
Yeah, 3 minutes.
Yeah, we
Yeah, but it's not crosses count, so we're good.
we got plenty of time. I'm just going to go A and B.
Those are both for sure right.
I'll take
So
it for you.
it has to.
And we'll go from there. And then the one, yeah, I'm confident with that one. All right. We are going to save and finish test. We get 50 out of 50, submit answers. Now we're going to take a look at Matt Cross's account and see what we scored. Maybe.
Disregard all those other scores on there.
Matt, you might need to come up here and log in again. Well, I try to go to home and it's not letting me go to home.
I should have remembered it on my computer. Could be NSA's logo. I'm sorry, I can't take the test. PG.
I just want the people to, and then we'll get into the coaches' play here.
It doesn't say.
What's that?
It doesn't say if you pass.
You can go in and.
All right, so you go into your. So now we're going to go into his account information. We're going to go into baseball. 2024, 2000. So we got a 88. That is 18 percentage points of passing.
Do you see which ones you missed?
Not until the test is closed.
So like on that one where, if it hits it, instead of a question referred to, it bounces off something, you still catch it for an out. So if I'm a runner and I'm diving back first because it's a line drive.
Yep.
Back, hits my helmet, first baseman catches it.
That's interference. That runner is out.
But what about the batter that just hit it?
Batter's then given first base because it wasn't intentional. All right. So Zach Hunnell, when did I send you that video?
You didn't email it to me.
I didn't email it to you?
No, you sent it to me in a text message. And I put it in the Google Drive. Go to the shared there on the left. Oh, wait, that's. Sorry. Oh, you want to do it.
So if I go to Google, shared, drive,
Shared with me.
am I in the wrong account?
It should be the right one.
Image.
Try clicking on.
Dang it.
Try clicking on my drive. Okay. Nope, not it.
I'm almost positive I emailed myself. Inbox, 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 inbox. Come on. Screenshot, screenshot. You did?
That's in process.
Not there yet.
So what's our pay for PSOA baseball 57? 40?
No. 45. Yeah, rec baseball is 45. Let's see if I can email myself again. I emailed it to me already. I just can't fucking find it. Zach Hunnell, there it is. All right.
Hopefully I did it right.
So Tom, you should recognize this video. And this week, we're going to make a short out of this. The next training tape I make, it's going to be on our training tape. Umpires at the plate meeting, come on. We asked the coaches, is everybody legally equipped? Correct? Then we asked the home coach, please take us around our field. We ask about time limit. We ask if you have any questions about USSSA rules, high school rules, whatever rule set we're playing by. And then we ask the coaches, if you have a question on a play, call timeout and go where? All right, so the halfway point, and if the play is at home, the coach could go on the outside of this dirt circle. But who could go and talk to the umpire?
Whoever came to the plate meeting.
Whoever came to the plate meeting, which is the head coach. So we have this play going. It's a snowball fight. And we still have a snowball fight. So now we have a play at home. What do you guys got right now? So I'm just but Tom, don't say anything. Okay. So the umpire goes out. Okay, the umpire goes out. Okay, so umpires. Okay, so we have two adult coaches. So one of them is not the head coach. That is an ejection. That's an ejection. Okay, I don't care how egregious, I don't care how bad a call I make. If I have an assistant coach come out of their position screaming and yelling at me, it is an ejection. Please, umpires, eject assistant coaches. All right, we cannot have this. So now the head coach.
But just to be clear,
Yep.
He's coming out like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's just starting to call or talk, you can stop him.
Yep.
And say, I'm talking to the head coach.
Correct.
And then I'm talking to Tom. Use their name. Remember.
All right, so
We're talking about the guy on the dead sprint.
both are on a dead sprint. Okay.
Honestly, at this point, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I assumed it was the third baseman.
No.
It's the guy from-
Yes. So this is the assistant coach. This is the head coach. This head coach, and the coach is watching this, we as leader of young men have to be able to control our emotions, call time, and present ourselves to the dirt circle. And ask the umpire, did you see the ball on the ground? Not to attack, not to scream. We just cannot have this. All right, so umpires. I will tell you this. This umpire crew did say at the plate meeting, call time, come out, ask the calling umpire. If we have to get together as a crew, we will get together as a crew. And if they don't do it, there has to be repercussion. Okay? So eject the coach and say, Coach, you're ejected. Yes, we will get together as a crew. Yes, we will share information. And if the ball was on the ground, I'll change my call. But Coaches cannot do this. This is what scares umpires. And if you're a new umpire and you have two grown men coming at you with, what is that umpire, 15 years old? All right, but
I'm hoping he's 16.
and I tell you what, as an umpire, am I ever going to run at a shortstop for making an error and yell at the shortstop for making an error? Absolutely not. Is the coach going to sprint out to the shortstop and ream the shortstop for making an error? No, they're probably going to wait till they come back to the dugout. There's an appropriate way to correct an error.
Is there a second umpire on the field?
Yes.
Where's he at?
So he's right here.
He's sleeping.
No. He's right there. All right. All right, so, and now the umpire does a good job going to his partner. The partner gives them information. They get the call right. But just know, umpires, you are going to be 1,000% supported. Eject this behavior. If they come down slowly, like Brian said, stop the assistant coach. The head coach should come down to the fair foul line. Okay? Coaches have to be able to control their emotions when things don't go their way. They do it all the time with their players. They have to do it with the umpires. All right, so umpires, if anyone else have situations like this where a coach came strong at him this weekend? All right. James, what'd you do? You ejected him. Brian, what'd you do? Warned them, and then did they stop after warning? What'd you do? Ejected them. All right. Ejected themselves. We, as a unit of umpires, have to end this behavior. And it will. If coaches are ejected, they are going to change their behavior. They're going to learn, all right, I got ejected last time, I'm going to go to the 45-foot line. I got ejected last time, I'm just going to walk out to the dirt circle. Eventually, they're going to learn. Okay? And if you have situations like this, let me know about it, because I will try to find video. I will ask for video. If I can't get video, I'm going to have conversations with organization leaders. That's my job. Okay? We can't have this in youth sports. We just can't.
What about like public shaming on Nextdoor?
I will not put it on Nextdoor. If you get your hands on it, you want to put it on Nextdoor, I'm not going to say you can't do it.
What age group is it?
This is 14U.
And this is where at Keystone?
Mm-hmm.
And who's the team?
So I will tell you, Keystone Cobras 14U is one of the teams. Okay. So, but I did want to show this to everybody. Do not allow this behavior. Eject the coaches. And if you eject the coach, it's going to help another umpire the next 30 games they coach. If you allow the coach to do this, now it's acceptable behavior. All right, so eject the coach for leaving the position and yelling at the umpire. And keep on reminding coaches in plate meetings. If they have a question, call time. If we have to get together, we will get together to get the calls right. We want to get the calls right. We just got to do it the right way. Okay? Got to do it the right way. All right, with that being said, it is 9:25. We're going to close down the YouTube Live. We could definitely stay and watch the rest of this game, and you could definitely ask myself questions, Coach Kraus any questions, and we have two observers here, UICs here. So use our resources.